Okay, I have to talk about this because like it's just text, right? Because I was like checking my Pulrover's stuff. I can't even speak properly. No, I was trying to check what's the mantis shrimp for. It's on the latest area, right? And then I realized that my Pullover's intimacy level has like raised to this level, which is pretty great. And then of course you got her cherished items, and I just read the violin one, and it kind of broke me. It's still kind of breaking me because like it's so tragic. I have read like countless comments on YouTube saying that people get, you know, genuinely feeling depressed for the whole saga of Prolova, because it's just so tragic, isn't it? So I'm going to read this, and because like I actually just cried the violin part, but you know it just means that the story is really good, and it's just it's like the tragedy, man. The tragedy is a lot. So this is Prolova's music sheet. Her expression was calm, yet her hands waved with fervent, exaggerated motions, sweeping across one score after another. What a mood. Reason teetered, then was torn, drowned beneath emotion's storm. Notes were shattered, then reborn, twisted into sound deformed. I think this is also kind of like the journey of her resonance ability, if you will, because like she could manipulate wave sound, and like, the more distorted she is mentally, emotionally, and then that's where her identity, her mental health, and her emotions, and subsequently her resonant energy go. But this one, oh my god, I can't do this. Prolova's violin. She was the one who received their gifts. She was the one who buried their remains. I'm sorry. I didn't. I genuinely didn't know that. I didn't know that, but like it makes sense because like Phrolova was the only survivor, and some sort of resonant awakening resonance ability is the reason that she survived. Um, but of course, like if there was no one else, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then she had to. How old was she? Like 20, 19, and she had to bury everyone. Holy shit! Like this is like World War type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god. I love how Kuro still has this little ammunition to keep shooting us in the chest. You know what I mean? She was like, no, bury their remains. Oh my god. Like the freaking trauma. You lost everyone, and you lost everyone in a very tragic manner because, like, the meteor is essentially an explosion, and people would get, dismembered and stuff. And then, like, Frolova has to, like, fucking gather them and bury them and see them mangled. But she's also like, what? Like, what are the options? She can't just, like, walk away and find help. Like, this is everyone, absolutely everyone she knows. You know what I mean? Oh my god. Okay. One by one, the strings sang their exalted cries. Cycle after cycle, her bow played through repeated demises. Demises? Sorry. Oh my god. Friendly reminder that English is not my first language. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm pronouncing, but I don't know. Like, okay, with her Resonator showcase, we know that she can has this ability to kind of like repeat time, maybe inside the her sonorosphere, her her beyond essentially. But I don't know, like my brain's too jumbled for this. But like, I mean, like we're all human beings, right? We're all like normal human beings. We imagine me like your depression, but multiply that by a couple of 100 years. You know what I mean? Because like that's what Phrolova was. Like she lived for so freaking long, for hundred of years, maybe 1,000. We don't know. You know what I mean? And she keeps chasing, essentially, to avoid the moment where everything she knew exploded and disappeared. So I don't like, this is a lot, man. Like I can't handle this. I can't, like I really can't handle like the image. And then, as if this wasn't enough, because I was kind of like, oh no, why is the violin like the second, cherished items? Like, is that not, already, devastating enough? But it's still, oh my god, like, look at handles. This is so depressing. Like, I mean, everyone knows, but so this is her last string, you know. This is what she was hanging on the edge for, and then it didn't come into fruition. Retain concert ticket. Once again, she stood before the music hall's entrance with the ticket in hand. She began to forget what exactly she was waiting for, which means that she was waiting for so long. Like she just something she does, but she can't remember why anymore. She began to forget what exactly she was waiting for: the friend who understood her music, or the path that shared a similar destination. Right, like the repeating of the world, right? The rewinding of time. Even though it's not, you can't really do that, can you? The crowds thinned, the doors closed behind the last of the audience, yet the ticket remained in her grasp. Then came the clarity. She had waited for neither. She was only waiting for a small thread to hang on to, a lifeline she dreamed of. She would wait no longer. Fuck. I gotta fucking do this, like. I mean, all I can say is that I don't know how long Kuro is going to hold this information from us, but like I hope that maybe not incredibly soon, but like in a timely manner, I would like to be informed as to why Rover chose to erase their memories, to forget everything. Like, what happened? What happened that that you would and could and had to forget absolutely everyone in your life? Like, and like, is Rover human? Can we expect Rover to have, basically kind of like, sympathy and general human emotion? But like, yeah, so also like I wanted to make a video about this, like maybe I will, because like it still breaks me even now. But like at one point, this is a very short scene, this is a very short scene in the sequence of, when Phrolova was basically struck by a sword at the last battle after Fenrico which is before Fenrico turned into stone actually. And it was very short, but I realized that when I watched other people's reaction to it. Um but um but there's this small scene where we are seeing, the cutscene from Prolova's point of view, because we could see the row of her pale fringe. And this again, this kind of breaks me. And the last view that Prolova has before she essentially fell into the sea was of us. I think this is perhaps why like this ticket is like her most cherished item. If you look at from the kind of like rank of importance. Like, I don't think there's any debate in how Rover essentially broke her. And the reason why Rover's betrayal is so painful is precisely because Prolova loved us so much, you know. And I know that some crusty people, I'm just kidding, but if you, especially if you're an adult and you still think that love can only be kind of like romantic, maybe expand your horizon a bit more. You can have love for your friends, you can have love for your family, you can have love for your pets, you can have love for God, you can have love for humanity. I'm using it in a very wide term, though I understand that most people, when they say love, they refer it to like romantic love. But I don't know. I think, I don't know what sort of love Purlova feels for Rover. I think it's definitely so much more than kind of like romantic love. It's the it probably there's an element of romantic love, but like it's just an all encompassing last thread, hanging on my last rope sort of situation. Like Prova lost everything and she finally found someone who gets it. This one single person who finally made her feel seen. Like that's more than romantic love. It's just not that a Prolova wants to marry Rover, and then like maybe there's a part of it, but this is someone who's been traumatized for year, who's been in the darkness for year, and then finally she was shown the light, and then that light was like almost immediately robbed from her. You know what I mean? So she was very very much emotionally, you know, attached to us. And if you ever like have emotional attachment to anyone, and to have that ripped, I mean, if I were a Prolova, I know that I would like hate Rover. I don't think there's any other way around it. How can you not have negative emotion to someone who breaks you so thoroughly? So thoroughly that you alter your life path and you became a villain, you know what I mean? But also, like, the other side of anger and pain is actually love. If Prolova didn't like Rover, like, she wouldn't care. She would just kind of like continue doing her thing and, you know, not hinging her decision, you know, and waiting for Rover to betray her essentially, and not having this bloody ticket as her most cherished item. Like, she loved us. And this is why this whole thing is just so sad and so fucking devastating, because she loved us and we betrayed her and then we essentially killed her. But her last view is still of us. And she still looked back, right, in that last scene before she disappeared, to the lost beyond. So, like, this became so long, but I'm sorry, I'm just so sad. Like, I think, I have the experience of, like, having other people liking me deeply, and I don't like them as much, as the next person. We all have that experience, right? But, like, if I had to, betray them, and if I had to, like, low-key, you know, unalive them, if you will, like, oh my god, like, I handle this. But yeah, so yeah, this is Prolova's cherished items, and it broke me once again. Like, I can't handle this, and I'm kind of scared of 2.6, right? Because like 2.5 is this heavy? Is this, oh my god? Bring on the tears. That's like in 3 days. Because when I'm recording this, it's 25th of August. So I'm not ready. Goodbye.